Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. Guys, I'm out on the balcony garden and I think it's time that I need to harvest my potatoes here in the back. As you can see, it started to turn yellow and dying back. So I'm just going to grab this bag and I'm going to dump it out and see what we have here. And this is how your potatoes should look when they're ready to be harvested. If everything is still nice and lush and green, then you want to allow it to grow. But when it starts to die back like this and turn yellow and start leaning over, your potatoes are no longer growing, and it is at this point that you can harvest. So I think I grew red potatoes in this grow bag, and this is my first time using it. This is one of those fabric grow bags, and it was gifted to me. So just wanted to give it a try to see how I like using the grow bags versus using 5-gallon containers that I usually get from the bakery shop. I'll get those 5-gallon buckets. They sell them. They used to be free. Now they're selling them for $1, which is not bad. But I use a lot of buckets here on the homestead for my container gardens. So what I'm going to do, guys, as you can see here, I've put down some plastic here on my balcony floor. And I'm just going to try to massage the soil to loosen up the soil in the bag. And then I'm just going to flip it over and see what we have here. It's always a mystery when you're growing sweet potatoes or regular potatoes because you just never know what the harvest is going to look like. Okay, so far I have two. There's another one. It's a very tiny one here. Do a little further digging now. Okay, I'm going to start putting the soil back in the bag, and I may find a little more in here, and if I do, I'll still come back towards the end and let you see what my harvest is looking like. So there's my harvest of potatoes from this one grow bag. And guys, in comparison to um, the 5-gallon bucket, I really don't see much of a difference. But what I'm going to do is go on and plant another potato. I'll be planting one potato in this grow bag. But before I do so, I want to sprinkle some of this slow releasing fertilizer by shaking seeds. And as you can see, I got it for $1.37 on clearance at Lowe's. And I'll be using this to fertilize my potatoes. I was looking to see if I could find what the NPK was on here, but it's probably on the back. But I'm just going to add a little bit of this to it. Stir that around in here really good. Throw my seed potato in there. And then I'm going to cover this with soil, water it, and place it back where I had it here on the balcony. And I have some more potatoes in the backyard garden that I need to harvest as well, and also to replant some more potatoes. Guys, before I do any more harvesting of potatoes, I just want to share with you that I have a lot of tomatoes that have turned red. And also, I think it's time to harvest my black-eyed peas. They've all turned yellow. And I'm going to pull these out, and I will be planting some more black-eyed peas in the same space. But let me turn you around so that you can see what the black-eyed peas are looking like. And as you can see, it's a lot of yellowing. You can see where they've pretty much dried. And we've been getting a couple of days of where it's been raining for about 20 minutes each day. And so I don't want these to start mildewing. So what I'm going to do is take my time and try to harvest all of my black-eyed peas. But then also over here, guys, you'll see where these tomatoes are ripening. And I want to get these before anything happens to them, because I know the birds have been keeping their eyes on everything. There you go. And I've got some more here, and I have a few more over here that I'm going to get. I've got more tomatoes here in this market garden area that I see I can harvest. Guys, I never got around to staking up my tomatoes, so they're pretty much all over. I'm going to take even the ones that are just blushing slightly. Let me see if I can go around and get some more on this side. These are all still very green. Here's one. I don't know what's going on, why these are so big. Here's one. Go on and take this one also. Okay guys, let's go get those potatoes. Okay guys, I've got 8 buckets of potatoes, 4 here and 4 here. And as you can see, they've pretty much stopped growing. So I'm going to dump each bucket and see what I can find. I brought my wheelbarrow out here because I'm going to keep the dirt and reuse it and plant something else in this bucket. Okay. I think I'm going to start a lot of things much earlier next year than I did this year. I think I started a little bit too late because all of these potatoes are on the small side. And that looks like that's it from that one bucket, guys. Not much at all. Let's try another one. About the same. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of the buckets and come back and show you what I've been able to harvest. Okay guys, this is what I got from 8 buckets of potatoes. This is not a whole lot at all compared to last year and the harvest before that, but hey, I'm going to take it. I was just thinking these would be great in a crab boil or even in breakfast in the morning. So I'm really thankful, even though I was expecting the potatoes to be a whole lot bigger and have a whole lot more, but you have to learn to be thankful for what you get. So I'm going to get all of these all washed up and I'll come back and share with you what everything is looking like. Oh, before I do that, I want you to also see that I have already gone on and planted some more okra in my 5-gallon buckets. So I've got 4 plants here and 4 over here. Okay, let me go get those washed up. Okay, so here is my harvest for July 7th of 2022. These are the potatoes. The red ones were harvested from the balcony garden, and the white potatoes were harvested from the 8 buckets that I shared with you. This is my harvest of black-eyed peas, and I did not wash these because, as I've stated, I don't want it to have mildew damage or anything like that. But what I'm going to do is come down to this patio area here and take my time and remove all of the seeds from the pods. And it looks like I've got enough here where I can at least have a little small size pot of black-eyed peas. And I will be planting more black-eyed peas probably on tomorrow. And this is my harvest of tomatoes today. These were harvested from the balcony garden, from the home garden, and also some were from the market garden. And as you can see, some of them are a little blemished or scorched because of the heat and the hot sun. But nonetheless, I'm just going to cut that part off and still use that tomato. I don't like to throw anything away if I can keep it. I'll do my best to keep it. And guys, from the last harvest of tomatoes that I had, I made some homemade spaghetti sauce and it was absolutely delicious. So what I'm going to do with these ripe tomatoes, I'm just going to go on and throw them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And then when I get enough, I will make an entire batch of spaghetti sauce and go on and can it for when I want to use it. But this is my harvest, guys, of the day. Again, it is July 7th of 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless. Bye-bye.